Pitch for day 2.
The last time we had a virtual reality startup on the show was 4 years ago. You know why? Because nothing big has happened in VR since then. Well, besides Facebook prematurely rebranding as Meta, we all know how that went. VR has been on the cusp of its big moment for a decade. But maybe that big moment is finally here. A week before this pitch, Apple announced the Vision Pro, which could finally catapult this technology from the fringe to the mainstream. Big tech and VCs alike, they're all looking for the killer use case for VR. And today's founder thinks he's discovered it. Can he convince the investors that it's finally time to immerse themselves in VR? Or will they be virtually uninterested in making this vision a reality? I'm Josh Muccio. Welcome to The Pitch, where real entrepreneurs pitch real investors for real money.
Hi, I'm Paige Doherty, founding partner behind Genius Ventures.
Hey, I'm Neal Bloom, managing partner at Interlock Capital.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Yin, general partner at Hustle Fund.
I'm Mark Phillips, founder of 11 Tribes Ventures.
Hi, I'm Charles Hudson, managing partner, Precursor Ventures.
The pitch for Wist is coming up after this.
Here we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Good morning.
Or do we just...
You can do
If
it.
you want, whatever you want.
Go for it.
I'm Andrew.
Yeah.
Great to meet you.
Hi, Andrew. Elizabeth. Nice to meet you.
I'm Mark.
Great to meet you.
Paige.
Andrew, great to meet you.
Hey,
Andrew,
Charles.
great
Nice to meet you, Andrew.
I'm Andrew still, and we are building an app that lets you step back inside your memories. I'm a new father, and so every day I'm just reminded just how important our moments are to us, that memories are our most valuable possessions. And so that's why we're creating Wist. With Wist, you still take the video to try to remember the moment, but you don't watch it again. You step back inside it using AR and VR across mobile and headsets. So we are starting with immersive memories. We're building out sharing and multiplayer, and then building out the ability to upconvert any existing capture into our format. And then all of that sets us up really well to offer APIs and SDKs for other developers coming into the spatial computing space. Both my co-founder and I, we have years of AR/VR experience. I used to lead an AR/VR design and development group at Samsung. And yeah, our waitlist right now, we're like just under 11,000, and that's over the last few months. Beta is shipping on iOS, Quest, and soon Apple Vision Pro. So today, hoping to close our $1.2 million round, led by Long Journey Ventures, to bring immersive memories to my son and everyone else.
I would love to try it.
Go.
Yeah,
Is that okay?
Do it.
Please.
Have you used a MetaQuest before?
No, I haven't. I
Cool.
don't have.
So you should just be able to put it up. And if you look to your left, you should see my son's first ultrasound.
Wow.
It's like fully volumetric, so you can walk around it, you can walk up to it, just like she might be like in the actual room.
am I looking at your wife?
Yeah. So that's my wife.
Whoa, cool.
Oh, first laugh.
I hear someone.
There's your baby.
There's. She found your son.
Yeah, there's a...
Oh,
Oh, that's cute.
that's
Yeah.
adorable.
Yeah. And this was like the first time we were able to get him to laugh too. And so it's just a really special moment.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
What did you use to capture the videos?
All captured on iPhone, on Pro model iPhones.
So you just literally took this video with your phone?
Yeah. So right now we do use the LiDAR sensor on the iPhones. And so that's what allows us to capture today.
Wow.
So, Elizabeth, is it immersive? Do you feel like you're in the room? Or is it still maybe two-dimensional is how I would describe it?
You definitely feel like it's immersive.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I was standing right next to his wife while she was getting her ultrasound done.
Okay.
It was a little bit grainy, to be fair, but you feel like you are there.
Cool.
For the graininess, I guess with the advancements in AI, like, do you think down the road it could be more smoothed over, if you will?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's like low-hanging fruit that we're tackling right now. And then throughout this year, we're working on continual rendering improvements. But then there's also just artistic effects that make it feel a little bit more like people have seen in like Black Mirror or Harry Potter or Minority Report.
Can you unpack the tech for a little bit? So you take these videos that were recorded on an iPhone.
Yep.
What makes Wist unique in the ways that you're uploading it to the VR platform?
We encode the color data we get from one camera. We encode the depth data from another camera. We do a little bit of post-processing just to package it up better for playback. And then, it's uploaded into our backend. Basically, it's like instant. Like if I capture something now, it's on the headset.
But I can just capture it with the native camera? Or do I have to capture it with
not
your-
right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you see that changing? So I grabbed a video of my son with just the iPhone camera.
Right.
And then I can upload that to the Wist app.
Yeah.
Can you get there?
So that's our expectation for the end of the year is to be able to ingest any existing 2D media. And that's everything from something you've captured recently to childhood videos.
I mean, is there a day that'll come where, hey, I've got this old VHS? I mean, we've all had that problem with our parents,
so,
right?
Yeah. So one of the prototypes we did is a moment of my grandmother reading to me when I was a toddler. It's like rough in part because it was a prototype, in part because I was like on a VHS, but
that's possible. Yeah, you'll get there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What is the business model that you're envisioning?
So that I think is a little bit open. So our expectation right now is on the consumer side that we will go for subscription. And then I think on the API and SDK side, eventually when we're offering that to developers, that'll just be a like paid per use. Yeah.
Is there more to the app that pulls this out of you that kind of reminds you to film or anything like that? And I kind of ask because there's a startup actually here in San Diego called Keepsake.
Keepsake?
Where every day they text you during the pregnancy. With a Q.
Okay.
And every day they text you and they ask you a question. It's like, did you hear a kick? And it continues on after birth. And you can send in a photo, right? You can text back with the photo. So I was curious just how you're thinking about, it's hard to kind of remember to capture these memories.
Definitely.
In the moment.
Yeah. I mean, I think the way we're thinking about it is like there are some like interactions that we would be interested in exploring, kind of like a prompt. But I think also our initial base is just like, these are the captures you're already taking out your phone, you're already capturing. And so it's, instead of doing that in the native camera, it's in the Wist camera. And one way we also reduce switching cost is we automatically export a 2D capture into your camera roll. And then if you view it in Wist, you're physically there again.
The timing of this pitch is relevant given the news.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think it's probably the hippo in the room. So can you talk to us about what your perspective is on the Apple headset and what that means for the industry?
Yeah, it's like amazing. I think that personally it has been so validating, like specifically for Wist. Apple thinks that spatial memories are so important that they added a hardware button. I think that Wist still stands differentiated though because we are on your phone, we're on the Apple headset, we're on the Quest headset, we're on like any device because in a really dark sense, like you don't want the last moments of grandma stuck on a single platform. And the Apple device is going to be out of most people's price range. Also capturing with the headset is really awkward. Or just like take a video and then you're done. Like you're there. It's extremely easy to use.
So on that point, actually, that is probably something I think a lot about and sort of worry a bit about. Like the Apple price point is really high, so that will limit, at least initial sales for them. And then certainly that for other reasons, VR headset adoption has been disappointing.
Sure.
Given that you are reliant kind of upon people having headsets to be able to enjoy this, like how do you think about that? Because you're beholden to the headset market.
So in some ways, I don't care what else you use your VR headset for. If you have it, then like you can use Wist. And there's something around like tens of millions of Quests are out there. And so even if that's on the shelf today, you can charge it up and Wist is ready to go. So like, it's not like we have to wait for that to roll out. We just have to have you plug it in.
Andrew, I'm curious your why for the business.
Yeah.
Sounds like you were doing great at Samsung. And now you've got a child. So there's added layers of stress in being an entrepreneur. But what was the inspiration for you to start the business?
It comes from like a lot of places, really. In middle school, my grandmother died, and eventually I realized that like the new people that I was meeting, like my wife, like she's never going to be able to like really meet her. My why is like, is that memories are just like our most important thing at the end of the day, and that this is an opportunity, unlike any other, to like build an app that just like deeply resonates with people. It's not something that's throwaway. This is like you.
Sure.
And thinking like a little bit longer term too, like my son will be able to go back into all of these same captures and like see his parents be a lot younger and see himself be like a tiny little bean. It's wild.
That's great. Yeah, technology that makes us more human, right?
Absolutely.
Do you have a sense of the overlap between headset ownership and your target audience? Are they in that sweet spot of people who are likely to have devices already?
We're just like relying on our waitlist numbers. And so if I remember off the top of my head, I think there's about like 20 to 40% of them have both an iPhone and one of the supported Quest headsets.
Okay.
You mentioned that you were doing the beta testing. Can you walk us through kind of like what that groups looks like and what questions that you're trying to answer through that beta testing?
In our last release, we rolled out to 100 users. I think right now we have about 71 who went through the actual like sign up process. Those numbers are a little bit separated from each other because some of those people came in before the thing. But yeah, it's like...
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Sorry. So so basically like we have 71 people who have gone through the entire sign up process and like entered their data and they like created an account. Yeah.
So you have 71 people who have entirely signed up.
Yes.
Are they all actively using your product right now?
I don't think we entirely know. We're still like working on the analytics reporting.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you can tell maybe like how many have uploaded one video versus not even gotten to
Absolutely.
that stage.
The data is there. We just like have to like make Google Analytics tell us.
I think I'm out on this one. Consumer is about half of what we do at Precursor.
Yeah.
The one thing I keep coming back to is the most successful consumer experiences we've invested in have relatively low friction to try and experiment with them. And I don't think this is a shortcoming of like your approach. I think just looking at where headset technology is and where capture technology is, I just worry that there's too much friction to really get a large number of people into the experience. And I think you're going to need a large number of people in the experience to make the consumer subscription piece work. So that's where I landed. But the experience looked pretty magical. I just hope more people get a chance to have it.
Definitely. And totally respect that. And I think like it was very important to us that it feels as easy as taking a video. And that's where we are.
Yeah.
I think to bounce off what Charles said, I think the dependency on headsets is tough, especially as Apple has come out with their headset. And I feel like they've definitely been big on like spatial sound and photos. And so I'm out because I think that Apple will start like working on this in a really meaningful way in the next like 5 years.
Sure. I think like the way we think about that is that, like we're accessible on every platform, including Apple's. Definitely. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm also out. And I think for me, I think we've all now learned how to capture moments, right? We've got almost too many photos. It's everything else that I don't think you've doesn't sound like you've really started to work on or even thought about. You're still focused on capture and show, but everyone else is focused on how do I capture something and remember to capture it now. And I just don't see a focus there at all. So I appreciate it.
I'm going to be out on this one as well. I think Neal's point are pertinent here. I think usage is just going to be really important.
Absolutely.
I would encourage you to start doing as much as you can to be tracking even those 70 people. Right? How often are they capturing, and then how often are they using?
Yeah.
I think the idea of using technology to make us feel more connected to each other, to our family, to the people in the past is beautiful. Yeah. So I want to encourage you in that mission and journey. I hope you continue to build this. Just need to see a little bit more around, well, how often do people want to have that experience of going back and visiting grandma, so to speak? So really awesome mission, rooting for you, but it's going to be a pass.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you.
Tell us a bit about your round. What are the terms?
1.2 million on a 10 post.
And how much of that is accounted for?
We have 342 remaining, so 858, right? Yeah.
That's good math.
Right now, who is on your team besides you and your co-founder? Do you have other people, or is it?
No, it's just us.
Just the two of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, like the round is to start staffing up. I expect to actually start the hiring process next week. So like writing out job descriptions and reaching out to people. Expect to hire 2 early on, and then probably a 3rd before the end of the year.
When did you start the business?
We started it in June of 2022 last year. When I left Samsung, I spent months just prototyping different spatial memory ideas, built up the first alphas myself, and then met my co-founder, and then incorporated.
Okay, got it. I'm in for 50K in this round. I would echo some things here, though. I think that it is very understandable, it's just the two of you, that you don't have answers to a lot of things. But the one thing, actually, I do think you should have an answer to is, of the 71 people, what are they doing?
Yeah.
I think it's really important to have that. I mean, you had the info, so but that dedication
At least it's captured,
to having the tracking and monitoring the tracking, because you are an app that is contingent upon how people use this.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah.
So that's what I would encourage you to do as like a top priority.
Yep, totally.
You can't improve what you're not measuring.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Go Elizabeth.
Go Elizabeth.
What?
I'm so excited to have you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
That's great.
Thank you.
It's good meeting
All right.
all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good job.
thank you.
It's very fascinating.
It is. What's the thing that really intrigues you?
I do think now is the time for VR stuff. I didn't think that for many years. But I do think, although the Apple headset is really expensive, I think the price is going to come down pretty dramatically, pretty quickly. And I do actually think that this immersive thing, if everyone can get headsets or whatever, is the future of that.
Maybe we should have all done the demo because you're the only one who did.
That's good.
Yeah, I actually was recently thinking I wish I could, I don't know, have like a virtual world where I could go back into some of these memories and, chit chat with my grandmother or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you can, the pieces are there, right?
Yeah.
You can create these virtual worlds based off of like so many pictures and videos of her and her voice. And now you can add AI to basically create stuff she would say.
And
It's a little uncanny.
I was having a discussion with someone about like how much of a percentage of the time in your mind you spend like in the future, the past, the present. I feel like for me, I spend like 75% of my time like in the future, and then like maybe like 20% in the present, like a very small amount in the past. And I don't know if that like changes as I get older, because I journal like constantly, but the times where I go back and like look through it aren't that often.
For me, that definitely has changed. So I journaled every week through high school. I've never read anything since then. But my kids are old enough now such that I feel like I'm at this point where I'm past the hard parts, but then I see them growing up so fast, and then it's like, it's almost over.
Crazy.
So it's like I didn't watch any of the videos of them when they were a baby for years or anything like that. But more recently, it's like, wow, they're almost out.
Yeah.
So now I do watch these videos. Like I'm the exact target demographic for him.
Awesome.
This is like not what I was expecting at all. Like, I couldn't, like, you were asking questions and you seemed interested, but I don't, like, watching, I'm not even entirely sure why you invested, and particularly at these terms. I thought that you wouldn't be interested in this deal at all. I was thinking this would be a Charles or a Paige deal.
Yeah. I think I see certain deals as partly a way to get my foot in the door and learn. Because I think this space is going to be very interesting. I think he has some very interesting tech. And I want to see, like, he doesn't have answers to, like, a lot of questions.
Yeah.
But for 50K, it's worth seeing where this goes.
That's interesting.
Okay.
And the long journey people that's like a professional, well-run venture outfit.
Who do you think buys this?
That's not something I usually think about.
You don't think about the exit?
I'm with Elizabeth. Most of the companies we've sold, with a few exceptions, the buyer was not anticipated or known at the time of the investment.
I mean, Facebook could buy this, right? Like, they're trying to go into these virtual world things, right? This is a stepping stone into a true virtual world.
Yeah. All right, cool. Hopefully lunch is here. That was great.
All right.
Cool.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Elizabeth's on a roll.
Let's go.
That was a pitch to remember. Andrew got a $50,000 commitment from Elizabeth Yin at Hasselfund. But how do you diligence a deal when there isn't a business yet? The Pitch Fund has a mild existential crisis on episode 122 of the Pitch Podcast. Link in the description. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, and hit that bell. I'll see you next week on The Pitch Show.